Greetings. It's me, Eli, making a video where I guess I'm asking an artist. But I wanted to warn anyone watching that this one, I'm going to be oversharing a bit. I'm going to be talking about losing loved ones, as well as some topics of faith. So, that's it. Luckily, I'm not trying to drum up engagement. So feel free to skip this one if you don't like either of those topics. I'm making this video because my wife of 10 years passed away a few weeks ago. She died of a heart attack, but I guess more specifically, cardiac arrest. She died about 2 times on the way to the hospital, but they were able to revive her, and then she stayed on life support for about 2 weeks until we got the MRI scans back and found out that too much damage had been done to her brain and she wasn't going to wake up. After that, I guess I decided to pull the plug. It just wasn't a quality of life that she'd want for herself. So yeah, it's hard. And honestly, I'm probably making this video a little too soon from the event. But I felt that these types of events aren't as rare as we'd like them to be. And sometimes life gives you a curveball. You find yourself in new situations. And I thought it was important to kind of share my thoughts on this type of experience, not just as a creative, but as a human being. If you're on my YouTube, you probably don't know that I am a Christian. I am non denominational. I kind of fell out of the church a long time ago, but I always felt like I had a spiritual connection to, life and the people around me. I kind of view things that way. I don't put it in my content a lot because I feel like it's a very personal relationship with faith. But I feel like everyone kind of prays in the end. Just a side effect of our limited power and control over our lives. You want to believe and reach for something greater than yourself to make you feel like there's a purpose or meaning to the hardships that you go through. And I do believe that. I believe in a great narrator that is making good of life. Put your faith in him. He can do amazing things through you. Overall, making changes in the world on a scale that you can't really comprehend. And I also feel the same way about pain and sadness. When things like this happen, I feel like it's easy to kind of go into the negative. But I do believe through faith, these painful experiences can be turned into good things. I know just from a basic standpoint, being as young as she died at 33, she was able to donate some of her organs to people who need organs, which are pretty important. You kind of need those. So in a way, she saved like 3 lives just with, some of the parts she wasn't going to be needing anymore. And for me, even when I find myself being sad or in despair about, I guess, the life that we didn't get to have together. Like I said, it was 10 years, so, we had a pretty good run. Unlike divorce, she's not going to really be around anymore. Her story, her narrative has concluded. It still lives on through me and the people who, experienced her, the lessons that she taught us, and the joys that she was able to put into our lives. We're going to be able to keep with us. And hopefully we can make good through our actions. But one thing I found comfort in was remembering that, like, when I have these feelings of hurt or sadness or loneliness or even anger, I become grateful. I'm glad that God put someone in my life that I could care so deeply about, that I could feel these negative feelings. If I didn't care about her, if she wasn't as awesome as I know her to be, it wouldn't be so hard. So, yes, in a weird way, it's comforting. But that's me, personally. I don't know if that's going to help you deal with any of your losses. That's kind of how I think about them. Let's get into a little bit of art. Let's talk about creativity. For this video, I went back and redrew one of the first drawings I ever made for and of Kelsey. back before we were ever married, back before we were even dating, back in 2011. We didn't get married till 2015. But yeah, a lot has changed since then. I also specifically wanted to do a very simple drawing. Well, one, because of my emotional state. Don't ask me to do a lot of work. It's rude. But also to kind of get away from that idea of artists using pain to create like hyper realistic pieces. It's more of a myth. The pain and sadness do help create art. Creatives can use it as fuel to tell their stories more accurately. It gives them a stronger and deeper experience with these bigger emotions. But it's not some Super Saiyan power up type thing that you're going to come out the other side with a whole new art style, you know, anything like that. It's a sadness that comes and sits beside you and it stays there. And it's through learning how to work through it and with it that you can strengthen your art, whatever that art may be. I think it can also give you new reasons to create because I think it reminds us that life is short, nothing's guaranteed, and you should try your best. Try your best to affect people, support people, love people, and share yourself. At least that's what Kelsey taught me. Like when you're doing storytelling, pain, hurt, despair do grow your character if you allow it to, if you have the right mindset for it. And that's, in a way, that's kind of how my faith is kind of based. I believe in God as the great narrator. He always has the best twists. No matter how much I try to predict what's going to happen next in my life, it's always something different. But he's always moving me positively. There's always something good. There's always love. There's always light. There's always hope. And I think that's important to remember. It's a weird philosophy of mine I'm hoping to explore in future videos or content. But I believe that the nature of art, or even storytelling, or just creativity in general, is to make sense of the chaos of life. As we go through these things, they make us feel certain ways, they change us, they give us alternate perspectives, and I hope that they give us empathy and sympathy for others. Us having these strong feelings allows us to more accurately understand the pain of others. It allows us to be there for them and support them. In the creative field, I feel like it does inspire art. I think art is a snapshot of life. Whenever it's created, whoever's created of, it all is telling a story of life, of existence. Even with this little drawing I'm doing here, I want people to know that Kelsey was here and how much she meant to me. And I also, through my art, want people to know that I was here. And I also want to have a positive impact on people through my art, through my stories. I am, of course, going to miss my loving wife. And in a way, I'm very sad that our story doesn't get to continue. I think I was going to make movies about me and my wife. But I was so excited to experience it with her. I don't have too much more to say about it. It might come up later. But I did want to say, Kelsey, I love you. I miss you. I was very happy in our marriage. And I'll do my best to continue living in a way that makes you proud. So that when I do see you, we'll have some cool stuff to talk about. Let me know if you have any experience like this. If you've had loss, do you try to use your art to light up the darkness? Let me know. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.